forsaken. Make something of all the noise and the mess you're making, and all the time is taken. Baby cells, there's death and these silver cups. They break open jails, send you down for good, without a care in the world.
All right. It's The Kills, live on KCRW, coming to you from Tequila Mockingbird Studios in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest. You guys sound great.
Thank you. We decided not to say a word through the whole thing.
We were hoping you'd just talk amongst yourselves, actually, because we were out late drinking.
I'm going to need your help, because I kind of was, too.
Tell us how your South by has been, and do you enjoy coming down to Austin?
I do. I love Austin. I love coming here for any reason. It's always a great place to play. People sure do love music here.
Yeah, well, that's a nice change. Are your eyebrows red?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks.
So, I saw an interesting quote on the record where you said you need to perform the album live to see what it really is. And, you know, since we are here in the live music capital, and as you work it out on stage, I mean, how are you feeling about the record, and kind of explain that evolution for an album from the studio to working it out live?
Well, I mean, it changes so much. I think you really develop a relationship with your own songs when you're playing them live in front of people, and it's kind of a human experience in a moment in time, you know. There's a lot on the line because it's terrifying. You know, you can't rewind. So it's I think it's the most genuine way. It's the most genuine part of being in a band, you know. And I feel like every time you play a song, it changes, and you look out and you can see what it does to people, and also what the music's making you do.
And do you kind of find the light, too, in that process, or find the humanity in just playing for people and seeing the reactions?
Well, I think when you're writing songs, there's this kind of connection between the two, you know, two people writing songs. You know, there's a kind of, you stare into each other's eyes while you're making the music, and there's a proper contact. And then when you're recording stuff, it tends to be locked away in vocal booths and guitar booths, and you don't get that until you go back out on the road, and then you're kind of like, I mean, I really noticed it. There's suddenly like we're playing these songs, like looking at each other. It's sort of, it's really important to our band because it's much more important the attitude of the people playing it rather than the notes and the, you know, the chords and the time signatures. It's more the attitude of the people playing it.
Well, take us back to the start of this album. Where did you write? Where did you record?
We wrote all over the place, but mostly at Key Club recording company in Benton Harbor, Michigan, and that's where we recorded it as well.
Do you have some history there? Why'd you choose that studio?
Well, it was kind of, I was chasing this cursed mixing desk. I heard a story about I was a big fan of Flickinger mixing desks, and there's not very many of them. And I'd heard that someone had got Sly Stones, and it had been kind of cursed. So we went on this kind of...
He'd ordered it from Dan Flickinger, and he wanted it to levitate. That was part of... He wanted it in black, he wanted it to glow in the dark, and for it to float.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like...
It doesn't float.
It's painted black so that he could allegedly locate his drugs on it when it was dark. Locate's a studio term, kids.
Are you very obsessive about your sound? I mean, do you really pine over the equipment and all of those details?
But not just the sound, the look of it, you know. Honestly,
yeah,
it's like I've turned up to a session, like say someone wants to play an acoustic session, and they kind of give you this ugly-looking guitar, and I just can't do it. I can't play it. Yeah, I think it's really important. We're losing touch with aesthetics and beauty, and I think you have to really keep an eye on it.
Jamie, was the guitar your first instrument?
Yeah. I mean, I'm hesitating because I was always, what came at it from a rhythm angle. I was always like, I guess I was a drummer first, really, but I never had a drum kit. So I'd like bash out on whatever I could get my hands on, you know. We had this old Hammond organ in a house we lived in the basement, and it didn't work, so I just used to hit it and make rhythms out of it by hitting it, and like that. I guess I'm a drummer without a drum kit.
Yeah. You can hear that actually in your style. So Alison, obviously you're coming off of what I'm sure was an amazing experience with the Dead Weather. Tell us what you learned from that process. I had the pleasure of seeing you at an early show for Dead Weather at the Roxy in LA, and you're prowling the stage. You prowl on stage.
Yeah.
But tell us about that experience and what you took away from that to bring to the Kills.
I don't know. There was a lot of firsts. There was a lot of firsts in that band where I got to play venues what I'd always wanted to play. In front of crowds that were bigger than I was used to.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to kind of hold my own on a stage full of lots of equipment and lots of noise. I think there was a point when I started using my voice more like a guitar or more like something else. There was more than just singing the words to the song. It didn't matter about the words to the song in that band because it was just the song. Almost the song didn't matter. It was just changing. It was a constant, I don't know. It was a really different experience for me. Mm. But I think the greatest part about doing that is that it's so different than doing this, that's why it's so amazing doing this. Those two bands are incredibly different.
Sure. And, it's also a sense of community, I'm sure, because, our national treasure, Jack White, learning from him. And you guys were spotted yesterday here in Austin at the Third Man pop-up, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Jack White just did an impromptu show on the streets in Austin.
Yeah.
And he's got his whole Third Man crew down here. But I missed it, but how was it?
We loved it.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was great.
C6 Steve played.
As well,
and, I mean, that isn't... I think everyone should go and see C6 Steve.
It's so hard to say, don't worry.
If it wasn't for these sedatives. No, I think because he's amazing. He plays his battered up. He plays a variety of beaten up guitars, but he plays one with 3 strings. The one he was playing yesterday looked like it was made out of shoe boxes, and it was had 3 strings on it. and he's got everything going against him in modern sort of the music scene. He's like in his 60s. He's playing a cardboard box with 3 strings on. He's got, he's just got a foot and a stomp box, and it's absolutely mind blowing. It's just like that's a guy with, he's got it in his soul, and it's incredible to see. There's no sort of technological wizardry going on. It's just a guy, and it's like busting out of his throat and his heart. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Nice. So tell us what you're up to next. We only have one song so far, so it's actually nice to hear you play songs from the album. But Blood Pressures is out April 5th, and then are you playing Coachella?
We are playing Coachella.
Okay. And then actually we have tickets for a show a little later on as you come back to Southern California at the Fox Theater in Pomona. These tickets for Saturday, May 14th. So we will get to those in just a few moments. But yeah, are you just hitting the road and just doing it?
Totally hitting the road, man.
Yeah. And does that sit well with you?
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
We've been doing, I just can't wait to play this record in front of people. We've been doing kind of like little strange parties and things and lots of rehearsing, and we haven't been on like a stage yet, and I'm looking forward to tonight. That'll be really the first real show we've played.
Where is that tonight?
At Emos.
Emos, okay. And Jamie, how do you do on the road?
I do well, very well.
All right.
I think if you ask everybody, I get quite a high score on the road. Yeah.
Well, Ann Lit, you got any questions for the Kills before we head into?
I'm excited to be part of you guys working out the record. I think that was a really interesting comment that you made. And tonight at Emos, I think is going to be hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
And we might actually do these. Should we do these tickets now? Because the end of the show is always, then you can just wrap it. So coming up Saturday, May 14, KCRW presents The Kills live at the Fox Theater in Pomona. We have 5 autographed copies of Blood Pressures and 5 pairs of tickets for our members to see The Kills. Fox is the spot. If you have not won a giveaway from us in the past 90 days, call us right now in our studio back in Santa Monica at 877-600-KCRW. That's 877-600-5279. These CDs and tickets available to our current members only. First come, first served basis. They're non-transferable. Well, it's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for playing for us, and all the best. It's The Kills live on KCRW.
Yay.
Thank you.
You have everything that you need right now? Is that thing turned on?